All right, so the time right now is Tuesday, July 2nd. And I'm so excited. Jayshina Brown, one of my students, will be joining the call today. And Jayshina and I have been working together for a few months now, maybe about 5 or 6 months. And we have gone through the entire spectrum of different acquisition strategies or buying strategies, controlling real estate strategies that do not require your use of your own personal money, your credit, or borrowing money from a bank. And Jayshina has put properties under contract. She's been advertising, sending out her letters, all those things. And she's had a lot of tremendous success with it. She's building her buyers list and just getting in front of the right people to build her real estate investing business the right way from the inside out. And now, through her journey and her organic marketing, she's been introduced to the next phase of her learning, which is through real estate tax deed investing. All right. So Jayshina went through a marketing campaign for her own, and which I showed her, taught her how to do it. And she started marketing, and she received a follow-up, right, a response call from one of the investors that she was sharing her marketing message with. And that investor is an investor that invests in tax deeds, okay? And they were trying to get Jayshina or make her an offer for one of their properties that they are owner financing on a land contract in Alabama. So Jayshina asked me, hey, Jackie, should I pursue this? Should I contact this guy and see if I could talk him down on his prices and negotiate with him so this could be like a wholesale deal or something like that? And I says, well, that's one way that you can approach it. Or you can mirror what he's doing, his strategy, and implement it for yourself. Because throughout Jayshina's marketing strategy, she realized that there is a huge population of people that are underserved, right? And when I say underserved, that means like no one's talking to them, no one's giving them the opportunity to experience home ownership, right? So there's a whole group and classification of people that don't qualify for bank financing right now. However, doesn't mean that they don't have money, nor does it mean that they don't have a desire, right? Or a need that is going unfulfilled. And these group and this population of people that nobody's giving an opportunity to, they have a great, great need for good houses that are affordable, that are clean, that are safe, that their families can move into, right? So they're looking for like nice houses in nice neighborhoods. And that's what we real estate investors provide. We provide opportunities, right? We service people who have a great need, and we provide them with a wonderful solution. So Jayshina adopted the same marketing strategy that that gentleman investor was implementing for his own business, and I showed her how to do it from the inside out. So I said, okay, Jay, you can invest in his property, or I can show you to find your own. And she was like, well, I want to find my own. And I was like, you got it. So here we are today. She'll be on the call, the video call shortly, and we'll do a brief recap. And then I will explain in great detail the requirements for buying tax deeds successfully and making sure that you are successful in that business model. Because once you have the property under control in your possession, you're the successful high bidder, and you're the one that won the tax deed auction. Now, every, exit strategy in the world is open to you. And what do I mean by exit strategy? I mean, all the different things that you can do with that property is available to you, right? So you can, one, renovate it, and then sell it back on the market, like for retail. So you renovate, buy, fix, and sell. That's what renovators do. Those are the house flippers. If you've ever watched any HGTV house flipping show, that's the business model that they adapt, right? Get the property for a low cost, infuse additional value into that property, and then from there, they put it back on the market for a full retail sale. They're putting it back on the market so that a family who qualifies with traditional financing from a bank can finance and buy that property from them for the full market value, right? So that's what that's called. Okay, so that's buy, fix, and sell. Now that's one strategy. Another strategy would be buy, fix, and hold. All right, so what do I mean by that? Buy, fix, and hold. Well, that's a strategy which is landlording. Okay, most people will want to cash flow their property by turning it into a rental property. Well, there's all kinds of amazing opportunities with being a landlord, which is the cash flow that comes with that and the appreciation of the value of that property over time. One of the drawbacks of being a landlord, however, is the management and the maintenance of that property, because once you continue to own it and you have tenants in there, then they're going to expect you to continue to like fix things if something breaks. So you have to have a reserve. You have to have money set aside just in the event that something like that happens to your property over time. And you also have the drawbacks of having vacancies, right? So when those leases expire and your tenants do not renew it, now you have a vacancy, which is no money coming in. And now you have to remarket your property again to get another tenant in there and go through that whole screening process all over again. So that's what the buy, fix, and hold strategy entails, right? A little bit more than that, but that's kind of like a gist of it. So that's one exit strategy of how you can actually create cash flow for properties. All right. So what's the third one? All right. So you can kind of do a quasi. I call it quasi. So like a combination of all of the above. So personally for me, I teach my students how to cash flow the properties without having that responsibility of maintenance and the responsibility of repairs. Okay. So what do I mean by that? This is a strategy that I prefer. All right. So if you want to hold on to the property for a long period of time, or at least 3-5 years at minimum, then I would encourage my students to offer that property on a option agreement to a specific professional family that has an option fee available, where they can, during that option period, rent the property during that duration and then buy it sometime in the future when we have already designated and already decided that this is the time that you're supposed to buy this property, okay? So that's an option agreement. So most people recognize option agreements. The word on the street, kind of layman's terms, is rent to own. Right. So what I would do is I would offer the property on rent to own. Well, what does that do for you if you offer a property on rent to own? Well, first things first, the family that moves into that property, they are already positioning themselves to be homeowners, right? So they are renting, but they're also taking care of the property and all the maintenance and all the repairs and the requirements of that property as if they were actually the owners, which is pretty cool. So as a real estate investor, that alleviates you having to like go back and forth because like a light bulb went out or a toilet got stopped up and like all this crazy stuff. You're like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to babysit any of my properties. I'm trying to live my best life out here, right? so that's the reason why I love rent to own so much, is because I put a minimum threshold on the repairs per month. So anything that's $500 and below would be the responsibility of the occupant. It's true. And I write it in the lease as well, too. So any repair that's $500 and like $501 or more, then I get involved. And I'm like, okay, let's get a technician or a professional or electrician or, somebody out here that's going to take a look and see what the situation is, what kind of repairs is needed. So $501 and more, I get involved. $500 and less, the occupant, right? The individual, the optionee, is the one who actually has to fix the property. So that's exit strategy, like number 4, right? I think this is 8 fingers, so it's not quite 4. But if you divide it by 2, then it's 4. All right, so let's move on. What else we got? All right, so the next one would be owner financing. Why not? Right? So if you are the owner of the property and you want it at a tax deed, like literally, like you are the owner. You actually are the owner. So you can finance your own property. So what does that mean to you? You actually become the bank. Oh my gosh, right? So cash flow only goes 2 ways. It either is going away from you or it's coming towards you. All right. So cash flow only goes 2 ways: away from you or towards you, right? That's the kind of the circulation of money. Well, you're always going to have expenses. You're always going to have things that you have to use money for. The key here to your financial freedom is to have more money circulating back to you than the money that's circulating away from you. So you want to have cash flow that is higher than the money that's going away from you. Does that make sense? So the money that comes back to you multiplied. Okay, multiplication. Put some multiplication on that. Can you put some multiplication on my money, please? Because that's how I like it. I like it in multiplication. That's how you want your money to come back to you, circulating back to you in multiplication. And when you position yourself to be the actual bank, when you position yourself to be the financer of someone else, it's like, I don't even know what else to say. It's like huge. That's my favorite way to do deals, is to be the bank for someone else. Okay. So that's what I mean is, so instead of owner financing, or instead of rent to own, I should say rather. So instead of offering a rent to own where the person is actually renting that property from you and then has an agreement that they can purchase the property or not purchase the property sometime in the future, instead of that, I would just go ahead and just owner finance them right away, right? So if they have funds available, I would take those funds and have them use it as a down payment versus being an option fee. Okay. So there's a big difference between those 2 languages, as well as what each of those 2 monies do. So option fee is non-refundable. It doesn't go towards the purchase price. It doesn't go towards like buying down or equity or having any type of like interest in the property or anything like that. However, when you do have a down payments will give equitable interest in the property. Okay. So that's the biggest difference between the 2. And now this individual that you're owner financing, they actually get a whole mortgage, right? You issue them a mortgage and a note, and it's recorded in the county public records where the property is located. They have to have like homeowners insurance and list you as the additional insured on the property as a lien holder. They have to do all of those things, and they're paying the taxes. They're doing all that cool stuff. So it's really great because now you have a family that can be able to take advantage of home ownership without having to find traditional financing from a bank. Woohoo! That's what I'm talking about. It's genius, genius, genius. All right. So how many of those types of properties do you need to have financial freedom? Like how many? You know, your financial freedom, or any freedom in your life, whether it's your time, location freedom, financial freedom, or your purpose freedom, is going to become real and manifest itself in your life when you decide how you want to live, when you have a clear understanding of your rich life. Like, what does your life look like? Or what do you want your life to look like? When, how, where, you know? When you are able to answer those questions and quantify what your rich, new, best life looks like, then you can have a clear understanding of how many properties do I need? How much money do I want each property to cash flow per month for me? Then you start to look around to different locations and deciding, okay, well, which one of these locations yields me the best opportunity to cash flow these properties? And now you just start multiplying yourself, right? You do the research, you do the work, you find the deals, you do all those things, and money begins to come to you in really, really big ways, right? Big checks. Talking about mailbox money, like literally mailbox money. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to teach you guys is how to cash flow your life, how to create multiple income streams with real estate properties, single family homes, and for you to actually become the bank yourself, right? I'm going to teach you multiple different exit strategies. You decide which one of the exit strategies works best for you, and I'll show you exactly how to implement each of them so that you can get the money coming to you in the most fastest, effortless, and easiest way. Fair enough? All right. Well, thank you so much. See you in the next video.